Let's get into this Diageo situation, right? So I want to talk about the relationship with Diageo. So this lawsuit that you brought against them, right? People might not know, but I think Pharrell was the actual first one to sue Diageo, and it was for unfair treatment. So you had a historic relationship with them, 15 years, going back to Ciroc, DeLeon. I never even heard of Ciroc until you started doing the commercials, blew it out the water. Then you had DeLeon, and everything looked like it was on the up and up, owned by a black man and all that. So a lot of people was confused when the lawsuit came about. You shared some information with us when we came to your house that we wasn't aware of. So can you really talk about that? Because I think it's a very interesting case study for entrepreneurs to understand.
Definitely. The situation's in the courts now, so I'm gonna share with y'all what I can. This is all public record. But basically, I was called to have a meeting with Diageo, and they knew that I was kind of killing things in the culture, and they were trying to fix their diversity problem. And through that, a meeting was set up, and I told them, you know, I want to be an owner, that I have these ideas from promoting parties at Howard, just remembering that I would always get the door and never get the bar. And so I said I have aspirations to have black-owned brands owned by black people behind the bar and a part of your organization. They're the biggest distributor of spirits in the world, biggest maker of spirits in the world. So we get a test project. I'm looking at their portfolio, and they say we can start something from scratch. But I'm looking at their portfolio, and I remember one night I was having a great time with Ciroc. I had some Ciroc. It was made by grapes. And I remember, you know, having just such the greatest time. And so the light bulb went off in my head. I said, I don't want to wait and develop nothing. Let me show you what I could do with Ciroc. Let me show you how I could turn your revenue around. They were losing $40 million a year. And I went and turned it around and took it to 2.6 million cases from 40,000 cases. Okay? And so this is something that's never been done.
Clap it up for that.
And so 15 years later, even though I had that success, I was always fighting for Ciroc not to be pigeonholed, not to be pigeonholed as a black brand, not to be pigeonholed as an urban brand. I already went through that. I went through that with Sean John. They put me in the urban section. I had to go and disrupt the fashion industry, pull up on Fashion Week, and show them what that black excellence swag is about. And that's what we did with Sean John. And so with Ciroc, it was the same thing, get into the spirits industry. No matter what industry I went into, I always came up against this ceiling that they just wanted to keep me in the colored section. I would say for businesses, you have white-only business, just like you have white-only bathrooms back in the days, and you have black-only business. And so my fight is to always make sure that we could just do business. I want to be treated equally like anybody else. And so that's what the fight is about. And it's not me just fighting for me. I'm fighting for us. Because whatever bar I set, y'all have to come behind me on that bar, and I want to make sure that it's right. So that's what the fight is about, simply put. And the last things, to make it clear, was with DeLeon. I still own DeLeon, okay? So with DeLeon, I sent my people.
Before you tell the story about that, just talk about the process of getting DeLeon, right? Because it was you proved yourself with Ciroc, and so now there's an opportunity to create something else.
With a lot of, first of all, corporate America is made and built for white men. So when you're going into corporate America, usually your entryway is to help them with their diversity problem. But at the end of the day, you want to be able to open up doors. Sometimes you got to take that opportunity and get in. And so that's what I did with Ciroc. But I told them I don't work for nobody. Everything in my portfolio I own. So you guys have to know my ultimate dream is a tequila. Since I was a kid, I remember drinking tequila or being afraid to drink tequila at first. Since not a kid, a teenager.
Correction, please.
I mean, I was over 21.
Yeah. He was 21 at Howard. I remember it.
Yeah, but tequila used to have a worm in it. That's how dangerous they used to like market it. But I was like, I really love tequila. And this was before the whole tequila craze. So it's like you make a deal. You make a deal like, I'm going to advance this for you so then we could be good partners and you could give me what I want, which is my opportunity for me to own my brand and to be able to build generational wealth for my kids and my people. And I just need the same 24 hours as y'all giving everybody else in your portfolio. And I couldn't get that. I had to send my people down to Mexico. And this is just to tell you what the fight is about. They went down to Mexico, and when they got down there, they found out that there was 0 agave planted for DeLeon. So there was no plan for us to be successful. There was no equal treatment. The other brands, they had agave planted. They had no agave planted for me. And sometimes you have to go check even your partners to see what's really going on. And so when I saw that, I was like, nah, I'm going to fight because it's bigger than me. It's about not just me, it's about we, it's about all of us. So I chose my purpose over profit. And that's the whole DeLeon situation.
Yeah, you brought up distribution. Yeah, clap it up for that. You brought up distribution, and you come from the music world, and so distribution is a...
Hold on, I need to say this. I need y'all to still support DeLeon. You know, we gonna win this. Believe that. Still support DeLeon, y'all.
Still owned by a black man?
It's owned by a black man.
Owned by a black man.
Owned by a black man. You come from the music world where distribution means one thing. For some of the audience who may not be familiar, I'm sure they could consume spirits, but they don't really know what it means to have distribution inside of that space. What does that look like when you're building a brand like DeLeon and Ciroc?
Yeah, supply and distribution is everything. Whether you came from the streets, we all know that. We learned that at a very young age. And so no matter how I market a product, if they just keep me in black neighborhoods through the distribution, I can never grow. I can never be as great as I could be or as great as we can be. You know what I'm saying? I had to go from me to we. And so when I started really looking at every decision I was making, I was like, that this is something that I have to change. I can't just come and get this check and not be changing the way the ecosystem is. So if you want to have a successful brand, you have to have, number one is you have to have the supply to meet the demand, and then you have to have the distribution. And so if people control your supply and control your distribution, they control your future. And so that's what I'm fighting for right now.
So let's talk about Ciroc. Is that one of the biggest regrets that you made as far as not having equity in Ciroc?
No, it's not a regret. Everybody has a journey, and that's just really how, you know, corporate America works. You gotta pay your dues to get in, and they make us prove ourselves over and over and over. And I don't have any regrets because the journey was the most important. And also, I'm not really letting Ciroc go. So, you know, I'm going through this, but it's part of the journey. So I had to go through this to be able to get to this point.
Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing well. You know, thank you for clicking onto this video. And please subscribe. You know, I just want to get the numbers up, man. We want to keep subscribing, guys. And please like the video. If you like the video, then it improves the algo. You know how it works. So please subscribe. Man, I just want to talk a little bit about P. Diddy and what this man is going through and the reaction I've seen from black people, you know, and non-black people, okay? I remember a few months ago, I think it's less than a year, P. Diddy appeared on a program which is run by EYL. I think he even appeared at what they have a festival they call Invest Fest every year. And when he appeared for this interview, he explained to them what was happening in his life. And you guys remember Ciroc. Diddy did not own Ciroc, okay? It is owned by a very big company, a conglomerate of a company called Diageo, okay? they own maybe 70, I don't know, 60%, 70% of the alcohol market in the world. They own different brands. Ciroc was just one of their brands. But when Diddy met them, they were only selling about 30,000, I think it was like 30,000 cases, right? That's what they were selling. This thing had been out for some time, but they were not selling. They were only selling a few thousand cases, okay? So Diddy, they approached Diddy. He didn't even approach them. They approached Diddy. They negotiated things, and it took off from that, you know. And when Diddy got involved, you know how Diddy is good at this stuff. They started selling millions of cases. They made a lot of money. But in that contract, there was certain deals that Diageo was supposed to meet, okay? And eventually, just before, this is less than a year, he was suing Diageo, okay? He was suing Diageo, and they were going to give him hundreds of millions of dollars if it wasn't $1 billion. I think he was meant to take Ciroc from them, and it was going to become 100% owned by P. Diddy, okay? Now, so he took them to court. Now, and they were meant to go to court to appear, and that's when this thing with Cassie showed up. Cassie ends up suing Diddy, okay? Cassie ends up suing Diddy. Diddy initially denies it. Then within a few days, it turned out Diddy gave Cassie $30 million, and Cassie dropped the case. Now, when Cassie did that, Diddy withdrew the case he had with Diageo. Now, this is what black people we need to think. Let's not use emotions and all this stuff. Do I agree with the video, with what Diddy was doing to Cassie in that video? No, I don't agree. But that is a video. You know, there are some moments where you might make a video of me and I'm kicking a tie, and I'm just giving an example, right? I don't know what transpired before, and I don't know what transpired after. Okay? All I know is that Diddy is a human being, right? Just like all of us. And sometimes we gotta give people what do you say? A reason? I'm giving a reason for doubt or something like that. We gotta be able to do that. Right? I don't support what they did, but he gave that woman $30 million. I've seen male boxers, female boxers, UFC fighters get beaten way worse than that for 50 grand. You know, he gave that woman $30 million and she's gone quiet. $30 million, she's gone quiet. Now, black people, because they already had something against Diddy because he was a successful black man. The most people that we hate each other so much. You know, and people like 50 Cent. You know what 50 Cent is trying to do? 50 Cent is also a victim. You know, now, and I'm saying people like 50 Cent when he's talking about Diddy, you know, and he's crowning all these other people. Now, he's not doing stuff about Diddy because he really doesn't like Diddy. I think he's doing stuff about Diddy because 50 Cent, just like every black person, wants to be the only person at the top. Now, I've looked into this. There's a lot of Indians right now running big American corporations. There's a lot of Indians. There's a lot of Asians running big American companies right now. Nvidia, Johnson Yuan, Broadcom. I think it's Hak Tan. You know, among others. AMD is actually Johnson Yuan's cousin runs that. These people together, they work together. I've seen interviews where they're together and they're working together. These guys are worth more money than Diddy, 50 Cent, Jay-Z, Oprah put together. Jason Yuan is worth more money than all of these guys put together. But they still want to help each other. And instead of bringing each other down. But in our community, and this is just across in America, in the Caribbean, in Africa, it's the same thing, where we want to be the only ones at the top. So what do? We like to bring our competitors, especially if they are our own kind, down. You know, I don't think Eminem is innocent when it comes to a lot of things, racial stuff. I heard one of his songs that he did, and apparently his excuse was, some black girl left him for a black guy or something like that, and he said a lot of just, gosh. But have you ever heard 50 Cent say anything bad about Eminem? No. And people can say, oh, he helped him out, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But guess what? For Eminem, even 50 Cent, to get to where he is, it's people like Diddy, Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, people like that putting so much work to make hip-hop go mainstream. Diddy did that. Diddy, he's not perfect, but he's created so much employment for people. I've heard black people coming out how they used to be security guards for Diddy. I've heard writers how they used to be writers for Diddy. I even had a woman who is now making her own one. I can't remember the name, but is the woman. You can check her interview on EYL. She said it was Diddy who helped her while they were working for Diageo, who helped and supported her for her to carve her own path. Today she owns her own money. She worked with Diageo, learned how things worked in the wine industry. Went to South Africa for the first time, didn't even know that there was black people there who owned wineries and all that stuff. When she found that out, she's like, man, I need to get involved in this. Now she has her own wine. She's bringing wine from South Africa into America. And Diddy helped her do that. Now, black people today, they love someone like, what's her name? There's this woman, there's Jean Deal, people that always talk against Puffy or Puff Daddy or P. Diddy. They always have something negative to say. And then when you look at them, they're miserable. Their lives are miserable. Jaguar Wright, that's the name of the woman. She's always bringing up stuff. I don't wanna be friends with Jaguar Wright. What am I gonna learn? How to be miserable? But people like that are the people that black people tend to like. What's there to like about Jaguar Wright? Oh, just because her job, she's so frustrated with her own life because her life turned out so badly because of her own bad planning. Now she wants to be spewing hate on people who actually become successful. People can talk about, Diddy and Pastor, which one of these pastors? No Diddy, no, none of that. Yeah, this, that. But have you noticed that you are so quick to mention Diddy? But there's an interview I had with Suge Knight on PBD. You go and watch it. Suge Knight brought things up. He said, Diddy did not grow up. Whatever you are accusing him of, like the no Diddy stuff, which personally, I don't even give it. I don't care about all those things, people's in personal lives and all that stuff. But what Suge Knight said, he said, if Diddy ever did that, he didn't learn that by himself. Someone taught that. And he mentioned Clive Davis among two other people who are of, you don't want to even mention it. It starts with a J. You don't want to mention, no one is talking about that. All of you are scared. But when it comes to Diddy, your own kind, the reason why we don't want to mention the other group, because the other group works together. The moment you mention it, they are coming like an avalanche on you. We've seen what they've done to Kanye. But what you guys are not realizing is that Diageo didn't want to pay Diddy money. So that's when all these problems started. And Diageo is even using the FBI. I've never been anything to help out hip hop artists. Remember when Jay Prince, Suge Knight, and who was it? And I think it was F. Gotti tried to come together and create their own record label, not just like Death Row. They wanted to own the distribution rights and all that stuff. What happened? The FBI stepped in and dismantled those guys, started giving them a hard time. So the moment they heard something about Diddy from Diageo, Diageo even gave them the tapes, they were quick to attack. But you guys are so quick to turn against our own people instead of listening and going, maybe, wait a minute. Because the same thing, instead of just going, wait a minute, we like to, and we splash it all over the media to laugh at our fellow black person. I would rather have people like P. Diddy who are creating jobs than Jaguar Wright and Jean Deal. Because those are just, to me, those are degenerates. They'll never do anything. P. Diddy can lose everything today, right? And he can start afresh in the next 10 years, and Diddy will still be a multi-millionaire. You know, and he can create employment for another 1,000 people. Easy. Jaguar Wright, Gene Deal ain't gonna do nothing. Their job is just to sit down and talk crap. And the only reason why they're even saying that crap, because they're already doing nothing. So they have to sit down and talk crap so they can make some money from YouTube. Black people, you have to start to think. This is why we get separated easily. You know, I heard this guy talk about this dude, an African-American guy who went to China. And he was a drug dealer. And he went and met in China with some Chinese drug dealers. And they sat down with him and they said, oh, you guys are like trendsetters, man. You make things happen, man. Look at all the kids. Even in China, people are wearing Jordans and all that stuff. But you know what your weakness is? It's very easy to divide you. This is a Chinese gangster in China, and he already knows this. And look what has happened. I saw so many people, even these guys, EYL guys, he promised to give them $1 million. Right? Did he promise to donate $1 million, not to donate, but to give them $1 million for them to play with it. Like they're into investment. So he said, I'll give you $1 million. You guys start investing, and whatever profits we make, we're gonna give it to a school that he runs. Is Gene Deal doing that? No. Is Jaguar Wright doing that? No. It didn't happen because all these problems started, and obviously everything he wanted to do now he has to put on hold because now he has a bigger fight to focus on. People can say whatever they want to say. You know, there will be no mess. There will even probably no Biggie at all without P. Diddy. You know, he helped make hip hop mainstream. And through that, people like 50 Cent benefited from that. So at some point, before we rush into anything, let us just wait a minute. We have to be skeptical people before we throw one of us under the bus. He ain't perfect. But there's something we say in Africa where we like to say, you know, oh, he's our village idiot. At least he's ours. That's it. You know, because I tell you what, everything Diddy is accused of, there's a white guy who's done worse. You've never even heard of it. You know, they've sorted privately, out of court, they've fixed everything, and everything is good. But with Diddy, things come out, and instead of going, no, they're trying to bring this black billionaire down, we support it. We support it. But then someone like George Floyd get killed. Diddy is literally being killed right now. It's character assassination. You know, and a lot of money is made based on your reputation. Right now they're trying to assassinate his reputation. You know, but we see some dude get killed, the whole community stands up. Oh, they killed this guy. But this guy is being lynched in a high-tech way, and all of us are supporting it. All because he's done so much better than most of us, and we're jealous of that. If it was some guy who get shot by the police who was a nobody, people are up in arms. Even up to now, people are remembering George Floyd. I respect the guy. It's sad the way he died. But George Floyd didn't Diddy. If you had 20 Diddys, you are more likely to create jobs than if you had 20 George Floyds. Sorry, I'm just being honest. So sometimes we need to start setting our priorities right. And we need to be very, very cautious, especially when we live in communities, those in the diaspora, like in the US and everywhere, where you know the bigger part of where you are is always going to be against you. It's time we become smart and try to be cautious and think twice about things. What surprised me was Fox News questioned it. People on the breakfast, every black media threw Diddy under the bus. Fox News are the only ones that questioned it. Can you believe that? Fox News says, did Diddy piss someone off in the FBI? And obviously he did. He did. He pissed off Diageo. Diageo doesn't want to give him the money. If you remember, even Bacardi, Jay-Z, if you guys didn't know, you can look this up. On the big chunk of Bacardi, he bought part of the business long time ago, right? He goes up to them. They wanted to value it at a lesser price than it actually is. I think Bacardi is worth like something like $3 billion or something like that. And Jay-Z actually owned 50% of it. I think it's 50% or something like that. So he decided to sell 25%, and they still got like 25% left in Bacardi. But they wanted to value it at a lower price so they can rip off a black man. And I tell you what, if they had any dirt on Jay-Z, it was going to come out. Jay-Z will be now running for his life. Typical black man treatment. And the whole of black people would be so much enthralled, taking joy in Jay-Z's suffering. And the only sin he could have committed is because he wanted what he deserved. Same thing. Diddy has committed a crime because he wants what he deserved from a company that's run by white people. And the whole black community supports it. Because, hey, there's a video of him, because he's gay. Oh, because he beat Cassie. He gave that woman $30 million. We need to start waking up. We need more love towards our own kind. You know, guys, the next president of the US has probably done more stuff than Diddy. But all of you guys are going to vote for him. And I have no problem with that. But I'm just telling you, the things he said in the past. His wife, he said something. His wife even died. They said she fell down the stairs. But no one is questioning all that. But when it comes to Diddy, everyone, all the black people, Diddy. Come on, guys, come on. Let us start to think, please. Let me see what you're going to your comments below. Because I know this ain't going to be a popular opinion, but I want you to listen to what I've said and just think for a little bit. Think about why it's so hard to create black billionaires in America. Now, not just in America, all over the world. Same thing. Dangote in Africa was complaining about the same thing. During COVID, European banks wanted to squeeze him out of the business so he couldn't do his refinery. Even right now, I think they're trying to blow that refinery up. And you guys are out here just supporting everybody. Whenever there's something, one of our rich guys has done something, we all turn against them quickly like that. And then you complain why there are no black billionaires. Because these people will now be scared to even say anything. Or even come into your community to help out. They'll be scared. Because you're so quick to turn against your own. Like I said, everything Diddy is done. There's a white guy there. There's a Jewish guy there who's done it 1,000,000 times and you don't even know about it. Thanks, guys. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.